Welcome to the next session. This is continuation of yesterday's session, that is learning objectives and hierarchy of cognitive levels. So now moving on to the today's session. So just recollecting yesterday's lesson. If you remember, these were my objectives: define learning objective, then explain need of learning objective, distinguish between appropriate and inappropriate learning objective, and write learning objectives in a given topic. So this is what were my learning objective for yesterday's class, and after going through the session, most of you, that is being a participant, most of you were able to do all these things. So this is the performance expected from you, and your answers indicated that you were able to do all these things, you were able to meet this learning objective. Now for this session, now you will able to list hierarchy of cognitive levels, and you will able to write learning objective at various cognitive level after going through this session. After when I will teach through this session, you will able to do this. So this is the outcome expected from this session. So now again I will just briefly refresh with the same topic, digital logic circuit being a simple topic. Most of the people may understand this, what is the digital logic circuits. This is just a refresher. It is an electronic device which is able to take some logical decisions. One example is given here, and such basic gates are there. So today's example also from the same topic. Now let us see this situation. One faculty member who is teaching a second year electronic circuit class, she wanted to teach basic gates. Now what she did is, she explained gates using truth table. Then further to elaborate how gate performs, what she did is she has drawn waveforms and explained how the waveform process through these logical decisions and how you achieve output waveforms. And then further she tried to solve few problems based on the real life example and how to implement gates. Now few of her learning objectives are as follows. Students will be able to write truth table for a basic gate. Then students will be able to draw output waveform when gate combinations are given to the student. And they will able to draw logic diagram when a real life problem is given to the student. So these are three learning objectives was set up by this faculty. So now let us see, for each of this learning objective there are different expected outcomes. Now what are they? Student will be able to write truth table of basic gates. So when they say that they will able to write truth table, they are just recalling truth table from the memory which is already taught by faculty member, and they will just reproduce in the exam, or they will just reproduce in the notebook. Now moving ahead, look at the second one. Student will be able to draw output waveform for given gate combination. What this means? Now they have to first interpret the logic diagram, that is whatever is the gate combination given to them. Then they will find output for each block or each gate in an entire logic diagram. Then they will combine it, apply truth table, and then they will say that what is the final output. Now here if you can see the first learning objective, they are just recalling whatever is taught to them. In the second learning objective, what is expected at the student level, more than recall. So here little bit of thinking from the student point, little bit of integration from the student point is expected more than recall. So they have to recall truth table, but they have to even implement it for a given diagram of the gates. Now let us move to the third learning objective. Now what this third learning objective says, student will be able to draw logic diagram for given real life problem. Now a real life problem is given to them, they have to identify how many inputs are there, then which logical decisions to be taken, they have to identify even gates, then decide what is the combination, and then they will able to draw logic diagram. So all these steps should be done by student, all this level of thinking should be done by student. So if we look at the previous ones, again the first one is they will are able to write only truth table. So students' effort are only at the recall level. Then they are now recalling truth table through this learning objective, they are recalling as well as they are trying to implement it to, or they are putting some effort interpreting the truth tables and trying to apply to the gate combination. Now if we move ahead to the third one, what is happening is here more than recall interpretation, they are trying to apply it to the different situations. So lot of things are going involved from student point of view or student thinking point of view. So how to assign such priority? So definitely if you look at this learning objectives, what we have seen, this falls at one level, this goes to little bit higher level, and the third one is definitely at more higher level because lot of thinking is involved from students' perspective.